earlier I showed you how to cinch up like the cap by going back and forth, and I was able to hand tighten it down after, I had it oiled. So I hand tightened it down, I broke it in. Another thing is inside here, some people when you have problems with their carbs, go open this bottom part up and make sure that the jet, I believe it's called the jet hasn't unscrewed and come loose, because once it does, you'll bog, flood, and run like shit. That's another test, you can tighten that up. I might open it up and tighten it up just to make sure. So all in all, this thing's ready to go. Removing the chain guard also is a good idea. I was having a hard time getting to these bolts, and in here it was interfering. It's being a pain in the ass. Right in there it was interfering. But I got it to fit. It will go in there, so you got to slip it on, right? Kind of turn it up, and then it slides off on this angle here, like this. We got out our scrubs for this, our nice green scrubs. It's surgery time. And let me tell you, when I had to flip that bike over that motor in there, Jimmy, oh, there's some weight on that. There's some weight on that bike now. It just doesn't flip right over like it used to. So prepare for your sacroiliacs. Prepare your sacroiliac when you turn it over. Alright, seat your bolts in there, in your sprocket. And I'm going to hold my hand like this and get it through. Alright, I got my spoke on, my hub on, whatever you want to call it. And the easiest way I found to do it is once you get it on there, start them all finger tight. Try to keep them all the same. Look at them and make sure they're all the same thing. Then count off in the middle, one to pin it, to help pin it at first. Do the middle one. Go down, and count how many you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 turns. Then do it in the middle of the next one, 8 turns. Then 8 turns. Then snug down the outer ones. And then bring it down one more time, again, like another 6 things, and it starts to tighten up really good. And then I just used the back of the hammer, I spun it, and I checked the center. And then I just tapped it here or here, however it had to shift. I moved it around until it's centered now. Now I'm going to start bringing it down. And it's running almost perfectly true. And that, so, that, I heard some people going, oh, it wobbles. Well, yeah, if you screw one down, you lose count, and, So bring them down evenly. Keep it in your head of how many you're doing it. So I got it perfect right now. Alright. I got it just a little bit off here. Not very much. Not enough that I think it's going to affect anything. And here I have it dead true. It's not wobbling one, it's dead true. And I tightened it. You just take them out until they get tight, make them like hand tight, and just a little more. The people in the book are saying around 12 pounds of 12 foot-pounds of torque. So I'm just doing it like hand tight and a little more. It's the same tightness as the head bolts on the cylinder head. Same thing. All right. I'm done with this. There we go. As you can see, my hub's got more wobbles in it than than the spoke driver there. So that's something else I may look into, but a little tail wobble. Let's see what happens. Alright, at this point, I have my chain installed. Whoops. Yeah. I have my chain all installed. And I have my thing, the tensioner. And I have a little piece of metal that I might use and make a spring-loaded one. But right now, I'm just to fire it up and play with it. I'm going to use this to start with. And I heard people saying, "Oh, I spit my chain off. The chain comes off. I'm having a problem with this crappy thing." Well, I adjusted it so that at its highest travel, it's loose. There's a little room on it, but I can't lift it off of this thing, and I would think that would, it's the way you keep it from jumping the hell out. I mean, who the hell knows? But that's my guess. All right. I fit a little sound deadening into the clutch cover, and I'm gonna clean the grease out. I mean, I'm not gonna do this part yet. I'm just kind of doing sub-assembly so far. Okay. I cut it one layer, I put a second layer, one strip here, and a circle here that was left from the cutout center. Only because, like right here, in this area. I'm unsure if it's going to hit here. So I kind of just like made it like that, if you can see. I'm not looking at the camera as I do this. I'm just yapping. Like that. Ta-da. Hey, listen, it's Phil Henry. Yay. Anyways, it's starting to look like a bike, Jimmy. Got that mounted nice and tight. And I got my pipe on. They're saying, oh, use this wrap and wrap it around your frame and do all this stuff. I'm not going to do that. I got enough stuff in here that this should be good. Anybody tell me if my chain looks good? Someone can write me some email or something and say, hey, is that chain good? And we'll find out when it starts. Oh, I like it. It's starting to look like a bobber. It's like an old-fashioned bobber with the low Harley seat. I like it. It looks good. I'm almost done. I just got a few odds and ends to maintenance, lube, and wires to figure out. Alright, inside this bag that had all the bolts for the hub. I used a different size hub than the standard one, so I didn't open this bag. The bolts for the gas tank were hiding in there. Found them. Yeah. On the end, if you can see, I have it double wrapped with inner tube, and underneath I have those clamps over the wires that are running along the frame. Okay, I knocked off the little plastic nub here between my fingers because I can't drill a thing. If I need to drill it, once it's on, it's secure, it's plastic, I can start the drill in the plastic, drill down through the handlebar, and secure it with a metal screw. And if I have to do it, that's the way I'm going to fucking do it. I can't get it started in the freaking hand. It's going all over the place. I don't have a punch. I'm going to use these two little black inserts on the top and the bottom. You can't use it full one because it doesn't fit. That's Natural Health in You. He's a very good doctor. You should all listen to him. Natural Health in You. Saturdays, 12 to 1 Eastern. You go on the internet, WHNZ. Alright, I'm going to use Super Lube. This is the lube I'm going to use it on the inside of the handle right there. Another little gripe that I'm running into is this thing needs, like a bolt, one of these things, like, a little hex head kind of thing. The other one needs an Allen wrench. The hex heads don't work, so you gotta get an Allen wrench for this, a hex head for this. There's the shittiest mix of metric bolts and crap on here that it'll drive you nuts. You gotta have a lot of different tool sets. I'm using like 3 different tool sets. Not one of them has everything I freaking need. So if you're gonna put one of these together, you gotta make sure you gotta have a lot of PT2 shit around that you can draw from, or else you're gonna be buying parts kits and stuff. Alright, here you go. Here's just a quick view. In my mind, disorder is progress. Order means you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're doing nothing. Disorder means shit is getting done. Women hate this shit. They see it and their fucking hair fucking falls out. Men see it and go, ah, someone who's working. Get the job done, bitch. Back to the handlebars. Once it gets, you can't push this in anymore, you just use a pair of pliers to feed the plastic under the handlebar. Do it here, do it underneath, maybe around 3 or 4. Uh-oh, I got shafted. If you can see this, it almost looks like there's a variable pitched thread on here. It's really fine at the beginning, then it's really fat at the bottom, and then, where the hell did that fucking thing go? And then this thing, I mean, it looks like it's threaded and screwed on the inside. It doesn't match. I mean, it goes in. I mean, look at how it goes on. It's supposed to thread on. To here it doesn't. To here it goes in, and then it starts going. And when there's pressure, it just comes right off. So I gotta fucking put a new shaft in. I got fucking shafted, Jimmy. Just to show you my problem, I tightened this up, and I kind of set it, but oh, Jimmy! What the hell? Oh no! Okay, because this thing was shot to hell. When I went to break everything out, this side, this bolt that was in here on the shaft came out first. And because I can't lock the clutch up or anything now, I had to come up with a way to get this one off, which I did, and the little thing came out. Well, I'll show you that. So what I did is I used good old S-Wing treasure search bar. The S-Wing treasure search bar. You're not a man unless you don't have one of those, fucker. Anyways, I stuck the bar. Yeah, I scratched the paint, so I don't want to fucking do that again. But I put the S-Wing bar in here, kind of like this. Held it and got the bolt thing on the other side. And with that, I managed to break this off. And then this little transfer inside bar fell out. And somewhere inside there's a ball. But the grease is holding it in there, so it'll fall out, roll off some fucking place in the dirt. Oh, you know, you gotta find it and clean it. Okay. Next step is pulling the hubs. Now I get the damn chain off. That would be nice too. Here I am, I'm dapping my new bearing in, and all you do is you put a socket on it like this that matches up the correct size around the outer edge, and you just start tapping it home, and here's the other side stripped. Let me get some light over here. Alright, here's the other side. There's all the bearings. This should be packed with grease because the spring rotates on the shaft, looks like. So you're going to need to put grease in there. I'm going to use Molly grease, like brake grease. It should be high temperature enough. I don't see it getting that hot. Maybe it will. Who the hell knows? Alright, and then here's the order. Here's everything here. I'm going to do it like this. I don't know if you can see everything. Here's the little woodruff key, the bolt. I still got the puller on this thing. Gotta get that off. There's the plate with the screws. Here's the spring, the flower key, the clutch plate. Here's the other bearing that came out on the shaft. Here's the shaft. Here's the other woodruff key. Here's the bucky bar. Bucky bar. I call them bucky bars. And this is, it goes on the outside. I kept them in the order thing, and here's the shaft, you know. There's a shaft that gave me the shaft with the good one in there. Has a good one in there. It doesn't come out as far, so I'm going to have to engage the clutch to push it out, then tighten it, then let the clutch go and check it that way. It should work. If it doesn't, you'll hear me cursing some more. So anyways, I'll go back to driving my bearings in and I gotta go find the Molly grease. Okay, there's the crummy grease. Molly grease all over the inner ring. Squished it in there good. There we go. Okay, now we'll drift the bearing in. It should go pretty easy. Ah, oh, hey.
What, number one?
No, it's a movie. You're talking. That's my camera assistant. Anyways, you get the general idea, kiddies. That's how you get it in. Oh, there's the other side. That thing is when I went to spin it, it wasn't spinning too good. I was like, oh god, I ruined the bearing. But just put the nut back on and then just tap it evenly around. Just tap it evenly again, give it a good nice, you know, a few whaps, and then now it's spinning fine. It's perfect. It's nice and tight. Oh, nice bearing. Alright, now if you turn this, you can see right here there's just ball bearings behind these tiny little holes all over, and there is absolutely no lube in there. I mean, there should be some, but you don't want a lot. But it looks like it's designed so that any lube you put in there is going to spit out onto the gears. So I very lightly put a little bit of lube in there. I'm going to use my good molybdenum, what do they call it? Synthetic grease in there. I'm just going to grease them up lightly. I'm not going to go overboard. Wait till it's running out all over. Oh, and later on, if you ever want to pull this apart and re-grease and get the dirt out and everything, for God's sakes, pull this out above a box, a lid of a box, a metal tin, something that catches all the ball bearings. I mean, don't pull it apart like a moron. Most people do. I guess sometimes it comes apart and you don't friggin' realize it's going to come apart and it falls all over. But if you're taking it apart, you take it apart over a box top, something that's going to catch it all. Alright, I got my clutch engaged and freewheeling right. And I put the cover back on and I kicked it over in freewheel mode, and the thing wasn't, I was like, something catching, what the hell? And then I said, wait a second, I think I know the problem. And sure as shit, there's the problem. The stuff's too thick. So I'm going to take a razor blade and cut away the area. I'm going to try to leave this centerpiece in here and hope it stays, and I'm just going to cut around where these things seem to be hitting. Would have been nice had it been full. It would have cut down the noise a lot better, but oh well. Well, after doinking and doinking and doinking and doinking with this thing and the chain length, I mean, look at this. Look at how tight that is now. This thing it was coming down to here and slapping on this chain as it went around. It was getting caught. It was popping up here, getting caught, and it was rotating and coming off back here because this thing was pushing it off. So I said, screw it. The links wouldn't come together. Like, the link wouldn't come together. So I said, well, so I dropped the chain off here, hooked it back together, then ran it around, and then ran it up on. And then I went out and took it for a ride. It was like clunk, clunk, clunk at first, and then after about 30 revolutions, the chain, it went good. And this is a cheap crap chain, so it'll stretch, and then I can probably put this on. So right now I'm running without the runner at all, because it does not work with it on there. I mean, for whatever damn reason. So I'll just make sure, hopefully I still have a foot. I'll still have a foot if the chain falls off or whatever the hell happens, but hey man, gotta take some chances in life. Alright, so the chain's on. I'm screwing with my connections here. I'm trying to get these to hang right here. Gas things on. Oh, and install the petcock, that's British. Install that before you put the tank on. I had to take the stupid tank off and put it on, then put the fucking thing back on. And man, it's cool right now, but you should have seen me sweating earlier. Anything else? Got the clutch set right, in, out, you know, it's in. This is in. I like to illustrate. This is disengaged. When I first started, I was holding it out here. I was going, what's wrong? This is disengaged, and it pops out to here, and it's engaged. Bop, 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 bop. And if you notice, I got like an extra little cleaner cover for my air cleaner there too. Everything's looking good. I might actually get going tomorrow. I'm not going to try to do it tonight. And if I had someone with a camera, it would look good at night if I exploded. But other than that, I tightened these things up, the engine mounts, everything. I went over again and brought it up to tension now that I got it set. So we're getting down to the finishing touches here. It ought to be fun. This wire, the kill switch wire, wrapped it around, down, and as you can see, it's come together like this. I got my other wires up here, they're connected, and now I just wish these matched. These are real nice connectors here, but then these are mismatched connectors here. So, whoopsie. I just wish these connectors match. I could just plug them right in like the other ones. That'd be really nice. But I'll just have to figure out how to connect them whatever way. Connect them. These are nice round ones that pop right in. Alright, that's just... And also, you know, this little clip just broke, so I'm going to have to get tape these things together better, you know. It's looking like a done bike, dude. I'm like in shock, because it took me almost 3 days to get the damn chain going. So I'm just kind of in shock right now at my handiwork. It's like, I'll feel happy tomorrow. I'm still in too much shock right the fuck now. We're up for some downtime. I got some loose bearings. I gotta get tightened up. Okay, I opened it up and it looked like I was having some wear there. Wear there? Oh, doesn't that look nice? Look at it, nice and shiny. I looked up here, and this little rubber thing that was in the middle here, that was extra soundproofing, suddenly was eaten up into a wad. And I looked, and uh-oh, Jimmy, I forgot to put the screw, tighten that screw. Oh, that's a whoopsie. This is my grunge rock part of the show here. Remember to tighten your bolts or you will... No!